Hello everybody, it's Zelda Master, and today we will be reviewing The Legend of Zelda for the NES and seeing if it holds to today's standards. I recently accessed this game through the Nintendo eShop, and it was a good play, but let's get to the review and see how well it holds up today. Now let's look at my rating scale. I can see 1 is a bad, 5 is an average, 10 is perfection, and we'll be using the scale to determine how good the game is. Next, we'll move on to plot. The game involves Princess Zelda being kidnapped by the evil wizard Ganon for her Triforce of Wisdom. So it's up to you, Link, to save Princess Zelda and travel all the way across Hyrule to collect the Triforce pieces, so you can get the Triforce of Wisdom and save Zelda and defeat Ganon and save Zelda. And the plot isn't too special by today's standards, but for the NES, it was great. Next, we will move on to gameplay. The original Legend of Zelda takes an overhead view that is very similar to the rest of the series. You travel all the way across Hyrule, and it was very large, as you go into the dungeons. The first 3 dungeons are really easy. 4, 5, 6, and pretty much the rest of the game is extremely hard. The final dungeon is really unfair, but I overall found sometimes it required a guide to play these games because of several problems that are prominent in these dungeons, of which I will discuss for the rest of this segment. Enemies like Dark Nuts are very hard to kill, because as soon as you get an opportunity to hit them, they turn around and hit you. This made the game very frustrating at times. Combined with the fact that later in the game you have to kill at least, sometimes up most to 7 Dark Nuts per room, and this got really frustrating. And you didn't feel like wasting potions. Next was obscure things in the game, like this, having to give this guy a piece of meat, or having to know which wall's the bomb, because in this game the bombable walls were invisible, and that is really frustrating. The graphics. Next we will discuss the graphics. The graphics for this game were very good for its time, and to this day they still look aesthetically pleasing to the eye, with some bosses sticking out more than others. Don't have a picture of that. And I just really like the look of the game. And if you say otherwise, well, that's your opinion. Now, with this scale, what do I rate this game? I would give this game a 5, because the game by today's standards is insanely difficult and unfair, but I wouldn't give it a look unless you're very interested in it. Goodbye everyone, like and subscribe.